Hey soldiers, today we have for you a tale of two cities. We're going to take a look at the migrant crisis plaguing Chicago. And the residents up there are highly upset. The black residents in particular, they're saying that they expected the government of Chicago to do certain things for them because after all, they turn out in record Saddam Hussein type numbers to vote for Democrats, and now they're feeling left out because immigrants, people who are not citizens of the country, are coming in and they're getting all kinds of services that the black community isn't getting. Then we're going to take a look at another community, right? I don't think it has too many black people. It has at least two black residents that I know of. We're going to take a look at that and see how they handle their immigrant crisis. So let's start out by looking at what they're doing here with the immigrant crisis in Chicago. Then we're going to take a look at how they handled it in Martha's Vineyard. All right. And the two black residents I know up there are Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. So they got at least two. And then we're going to talk about a solution, as we always try to do. All right, so migrants arrive at Broadway Armory for temporary housing, raising concerns about community resources. Migrants begin arriving Tuesday morning at Broadway Armory, which is expected to be their temporary home for the next 6 months, at least. While their arrival has been received well by some in the Edgewater neighborhood, there are those who remain concerned that their presence could take valuable resources away from the community. This news organization, ABC7 Chicago, they really sanitized what's going on here. Let's take a look at what the actual residents have to say.
Anger and confrontations all on display as neighbors in Woodlawn gather to talk about what they call big problems at a nearby migrant shelter. New at 10, CBS 2 political investigator Dana Koslop takes us through what happened.
Let them talk so they have a voice.
A call for order during a heated meeting at Woodlawn's Apostolic Church of God.
Who's helping me?
The focus, this migrant shelter in the old Wadsworth Elementary School.
I would ask you all to go out there at night, in the middle of the night, and see what goes on.
What's going on, according to community members, is loitering, late-night partying, littering, prostitution, and at least one fight between migrants and residents.
It got a little heated. Objects got thrown.
But many of these residents say they no longer have any tolerance for the disruptive behavior by those seeking asylum here. It's making them feel unsafe.
They disrespect us, they rob us, they harass us.
And their patience is wearing thin.
Let me say this. They got one more time to deal with it, because otherwise, next time they deal with it, they're going to deal with it from the streets. We're going to take over it. Nobody's going to be able to stop us from what we're going to do to them.
Much of the residents' anger was directed at city officials in attendance, including 20th Ward Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor, Chicago Deputy Police Chief Stephen Chung, and Family and Support Services Commissioner Brandy Kanazi. At one point, police had to intervene, breaking up an argument during public comments.
And that absolutely is a problem.
And Alderwoman Taylor says she's now seen some of them firsthand.
The people who are keeping up the trouble are the people who are kicked out of the damn shelter.
All of the city officials here at this meeting promise that they are working for solutions to make the area around the shelter better for the neighborhood and consequences for those asylum seekers who are found to be breaking the rules or the law.
A lot of people are upset with Brandon Johnson. He's the mayor of Chicago. I don't know why they're upset. The man did say exactly what his feelings were with regard to immigration prior to being elected. Okay, he was very vocal and upfront about that. Chicago voted for Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. That's the last one I have data for, to the tune of about 90%, 87%. Okay, so again, we've got another city here who, votes consistently Democrat in, again, Saddam Hussein type numbers. And they expect change. This is just ludicrous. You're not going to get change because when you vote for one party to the tune of damn near 90%, you are telling them that you like what's going on. All right. If you keep on going to a restaurant and every time you ask for a steak, they give you chicken, but you keep going back, then they're like, oh, he obviously likes what's taking place here. Let's just continue to give him chicken. And, you know, when you get away from the restaurant, you complain about it, but then next week you're there again. That's what you're doing, Democrats, and especially the black Democrats of Chicago. They are blatantly telling you, we don't give a damn that you paid taxes here, all right? We don't give a damn that you voted us into office. Yeah, you got income taxes coming out because you work in the city of Chicago. The crime rate has you and your loved ones running around scared half the time because you live in such a dangerous area. Who cares? All right, now let's take a look at the other situation in terms of how Martha's Vineyard handled the migrant crisis when it showed up on their front door.
As the bus carrying nearly 50 migrants rounded the rotary toward Joint Base Cape Cod, it was another step in a harrowing journey these new arrivals from Venezuela were making.
I would say this is a safe community that is putting its resources and volunteers together to really solve a situation that there was no notice of.
A situation that began Wednesday when the migrants suddenly arrived on Martha's Vineyard, sent by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Many saying they were tricked about where they were headed with promises of housing and jobs. It was an emotional farewell on the island, where for the last 2 days, Martha's Vineyard gave them shelter and support. The migrants, including young children, boarded the buses to a ferry where on board to the Cape they soaked in the sunshine and the uncertainty they still face, but where many resources awaited them.
They have an ability for health services. They are rounding up literally clothing, bedding, tents, everything that people could possibly need.
We have black bean soup, we have rice, plantains.
Boston restaurant owner and Venezuelan native Katiuska Valiente says the migrants immediately need a taste of home for comfort, which she delivered to the base this morning.
It's very sad for me. It's very sad for me because, you know, it's my people here, so and we don't know what's happening.
And at an East Falmouth church, the pastor will be mobilizing volunteers, even just to provide a sense of community.
I trust that this is the beginning of a new life for them, and they're getting a taste of hope here, and I think that will carry them through.
Governor Baker is mobilizing 125 members of the National Guard to help the effort. The migrants will also have access to legal assistance and virtual court hearings. For how long is unclear. In Bourne, I'm Beth Germano, WBZ News.
Martha's Vineyard also has a voter turnout for Democrats in the high 80% range. They are solid blue, but they handled the situation a little differently now, didn't they? Those migrants, they weren't there 48 hours, and that was probably 24 hours too much for most of the residents there. And this is where the former president of the United States, who was an advocate for immigration, this is where he has a home. You would think that they would just open their doors. After all, they do vote blue almost 90% of the time. So you would think they would put their money where their mouth is. No, they don't, because they have better political representation. And they know, their elected officials know, that if they dared say, okay, we're going to let all these people stay on the island, and furthermore, we're going to open our doors. We are a sanctuary island. Martha's Vineyard, here we are. Give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. Just bring them on in. They know damn well that no politician that advanced that type of notion would be reelected in Martha's Vineyard. It just would not happen. So we got a bunch of people who, in Chicago, bunch of poor black people who don't understand electoral politics, who don't understand the importance of diversifying their vote. And they're paying for it because the services that they've been fighting for and the city's been telling them they can't have, they're giving them. That not only are they continue to say, no, black people, you can't have this. We know you vote. We know you pay taxes, but you're not going to get it. We're going to give it to non-citizens. Now, is this the fault of the people coming into America? No, it's not their fault that this is our policy. This is the fault of the voters in Chicago. Make no mistake about that. Because if the policies were different, then you would have a lot of these people saying, you know what, I'm going to turn my ire against the government of the country I live in because I don't have opportunity here, and enough is enough. So they would stay there, and if there wasn't this pull from America, and these aren't, don't get this twisted, these people are not political dissidents. They're not running from any type of political persecution. They are coming here, a lot of them are coming here because they want better economic opportunities. There are also some that are coming here fleeing prosecution, not persecution. All right, we got a lot of that going on as well. So, as we always say, you know, if you're not willing to diversify your vote, then your property values will continue to drop. Your taxes will continue to increase. So, if you like that, then, hey, continue to knock yourself out. But you saw what happened. Black people in Chicago, you saw what happened in Martha's Vineyard, right? You saw that. And they're all Democrats up there too, right? But apparently they wield more political power because their elected officials are scared of them. They know that they will vote against them. They will push other candidates. The sad thing about the black community is all we need to do is have a politician come into a church and hum a few bars of a Negro spiritual, and that's all we need. He's a Democrat. Person running against him is a Republican, so naturally they're racist, or an Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom being the weirdest moniker that you could place on a black conservative. It shows that you haven't read Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin, because if you had, you'd know that Tom was a hero. But whatever, right? Critical thought is not, something that's big here in early 21st century United States of America. All right, look. Another vestige of the propensity to vote Democrat is Bidenomics. Take a look at this video where we talk about the unemployment numbers. What they're telling you is not true. We break it down. As the kids say, we have the receipts. Check out what's really going on in the employment market, because it is an indicator of a possible recession on the way. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.